Hey book lovers, Victoria here, you're watching My Books Areme. Today I just wanted to sort of have a bit of a talk and discussion because I felt like it was easier to make a video about this than trying to write a blog post. I don't know, we'll see how we go. As you can tell by the title, which I don't even think really does justice to what I'm feeling, but it was the best way I could describe it. About outgrowing Harry Potter with a question mark. I don't know. I remember seeing, I think it was last year, a couple of people did similar videos like this. Honestly, I don't think I watched them. But anyway, let me just talk. So, this is something I've been thinking about quite a lot recently, and I think especially because probably for the last year, 6 months maybe, since obviously Cursed Child came out and Fantastic Beasts came out, it's just something that's been at the back of my mind, and I kind of just wanted to talk about it and see what other people were feeling and whether it was something that was kind of felt by a lot of people, or maybe it better described than outgrown or outgrowing. So obviously Harry Potter, big part of a lot of people's lives. I was kind of late to the series. I started reading it in 2008, 9, just when the Half-Blood Prince movie came out. Before that somehow I got into the movies, I don't even remember how, and then I started reading the series, and I've reread the series I think twice since then. I've seen all the movies a bazillion times. I've read I've read quite a lot of fan fiction. I have quite a substantial Harry Potter collection, which I hopefully will show you guys at some point. And Harry Potter's just played like a pretty big part of my life for the past for the past 8 years, but recently it sort of just felt different, and I don't really know how to explain it. So I'll start with with the whole Cursed Child and Fantastic Beasts thing. I remember when Cursed Child was first announced, I was excited. I was a little bit let down that it was a script and that it was a play that was going to be in London that not a lot of people would be able to see across the world. And obviously now it's in America, but I'm in Australia. A bit hard to do that. And I don't know if it is coming to Australia at any point. But I remember I was sort of excited, but then as the release date got closer, it was something that I wasn't as hyped up as I thought I would be about it. In saying that though, I did get the book on release day. And I started reading it on release day, and in that moment it was such a surreal experience to be reading a book that a lot of people never thought was going to happen. Reading a new Harry Potter book was amazing. Even though it was in script form and it was different, it still felt like Harry Potter. But then I got 3/4 of the way through, I ended up putting it down, and I heard I sort of stepped back from the book and the bubble I was sort of in, and I realized it wasn't, and I know a lot of people are similar about this, it wasn't really what we wanted. Thinking about it now, I felt like I was reading fan fiction, and I know a lot of people have said that. I know a lot of people were not happy with the book. It's still something I want to read because I do want to finish it off, but I never finished it, and it's not something I'm rushing to pick up. And then obviously the Fantastic Beasts movie. I remember back when it was announced ages ago. I feel like it was probably nearly 2 years since it's been announced that Fantastic Beasts was becoming a movie. I was very excited, but again, as the time went on, I sort of initially forgot about it because we didn't really hear much, and then when we were getting all these news and these trailers, it looked amazing, and I was sort of excited, but then sort of not. And I still haven't seen the movie. I own the book, I own the DVD, I have not seen it yet, and I feel like my opinion will probably change when I watch it, but again, it's not something that I am rushing to see. When Harry Potter came out, when the movies came out, I saw Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 the day it was released. I went to a midnight screening of it with my friends. We sort of dressed up. It was an amazing experience. And even with Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows Part 1, I saw them pretty close to when they were still in cinemas, sort of just after they'd been released and everything like that. And it's what, Fantastic Beasts came out in November, and the DVD is already out, and I still haven't seen it. I'm not jumping to see it. And even now, I feel like Harry Potter isn't an important thing, as an important thing to me. It definitely still has a place in my life and in who I am today, but it's definitely not something that I still hold as really important to me as it was back then. And I don't know if it's because I have gotten older and therefore it's just something that's become less of an important thing to me because I've got other things happening in life, and it's just something that is just there, but it's not as a big a deal. Or, and this is something I've been thinking about recently, is it because like in the past 3 years, past 2 years, since 2015, past 2 years, God, I can't do math, you know, since joining this community and discovering so many more books and getting into reading so much that I've read so many books, that I've come to not necessarily appreciate it less, but I like other books more, and I've read more, and I've just sort of realized that, you know, there is more out there than the Harry Potter series. I do not really know, and I don't really know how to explain it. I sort of feel like probably it is outgrowing it in a way that it's still an important thing to me. It's still something that shaped who I am as a person and as a reader, but it's not something that, you know, I necessarily have to keep being a part of. This is really hard to explain, and it's weird. I like a ton of Harry Potter related Facebook pages, and you know, it's all really fun to read those things, and just it's weird. And I feel like maybe another reason why I've sort of moved a little bit more away from the Harry Potter series is because since the series concluded with Deathly Hallows, both the book and the movie, like J.K. Rowling has released a lot of other canon stuff that is amazing. I remember I was very obsessed with Pottermore when it first came out and reading all that new information, and since then I haven't so much, and I think that's also down to the fact that Pottermore changed. I think that was kind of an annoying thing, but there's heaps of like new stuff that J.K. Rowling has brought out outside of Cursed Child and Fantastic Beasts, and I just haven't been as interested in reading it. And I feel like this is similar for a lot of people. They sort of think that like what's in the books is canon, and anything else that J.K. Rowling has released after that isn't so much canon. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I just sort of feel like, you know, Harry Potter just, it's still part of me, and I still like the books, I still like the movies. I feel like maybe it's also because of the fact that I used to rewatch the movies at least once a year. I used to try and reread Harry Potter quite often, and I haven't done that so much. So maybe that's a reason. I've sort of just been disconnected from the series. But even just joining this community and seeing so many other people who love Harry Potter, it's, I don't know, I just feel a little bit more disconnected from it and feel like that I've outgrown it. I still don't think that's a good way to describe it. So if you have like a better way to describe it, I would love to know. But it's one of those things that I've been feeling recently when I think about it. It still has a lot of memories, it still has a really big place in me and my heart and sort of my childhood, but it's not as important to me now as it was back then. And it's weird to think and to say that, because I was always under the impression that Harry Potter would be like a major part of my life. Like, I remember with friends we were like, okay, I'm gonna name my kids after Harry Potter characters. That's definitely not gonna happen now. I've named some of my pets after Harry Potter characters, which has probably ruined the names for people, but I definitely don't think I'm gonna name any kids I have in the future after Harry Potter characters. Used to imagine, like, I've seen heaps of amazing pictures of like Harry Potter weddings, but I'm sort of thinking, I don't think that's going to happen. Not the whole, like, having a Harry Potter themed wedding. And just sort of these things that I thought back, like, probably 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, were going to happen, you know, that my life was going to revolve, maybe not revolve around Harry Potter, but, you know, Harry Potter would still play a massive part in my life. I'm thinking now not so much, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, if it's just because I'm growing as a person and I'm just experiencing more. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I really kind of want to see what you guys think of this, and whether, maybe not necessarily Harry Potter, because I know a lot of people who were massive fans of the Twilight series have kind of outgrown it as well. Then again, I'm thinking because Twilight is different. I feel like Harry Potter is one of those phenomenons that is just beloved worldwide, and it's a different thing. But please, I just really want to know, like, you know, especially with Harry Potter, has your sort of relationship with the series changed as you've gotten older? I don't really know. It's just a weird thing that I sort of just wanted to talk about and see what other people thought, because it's something that I never, as I said, I never thought would happen. I always thought that Harry Potter would just be like a really important part in my life, and it's not so much anymore. I still love it. You know, it's still a book and a movie series that I'm going to come back to when I can. But I don't know. I feel like I've outgrown it, or not outgrown it, but I feel like I've just grown up and it's just become different to me. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I think that's it for this video. Hope this made sense. I hope someone feels the same way. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. It doesn't have to be necessarily about Harry Potter. It can sort of be about any sort of book or movie series that was a really important thing to you and maybe isn't so much anymore. I definitely don't think outgrowing is the right word, so please let me know a better word to describe this apart from growing up. Because I don't want to, I feel like it is partly growing up and partly because I've experienced more just generally in the world and in the reading world since Harry Potter. I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another video. Bye.